Elaine has used Edpuzzle. Has anybody else even used it to try it yet, or no? Allison, you haven't either?
No, but you know what? I was really interested that you said that they have pre-recorded ones available. So that's actually why I'm here, because I have heard it takes a really long time to put one together. So when you said they have some that are pre-fab, I'm kind of curious about that.
For sure. All right, so I'm going to show my screen. Okay, so are you seeing my screen?
It's trying.
It's trying. Okay, so basically what Edpuzzle is, if you haven't used it or heard of it before, is it's a way for...
I don't see it now, Jody. It stopped trying. You know what I mean?
All right.
It says you're presenting, though.
This is what happened with what's his name.
I know. That's what I'm worried about.
Okay. Let's try one more time. Now, maybe?
Yes, much better. Okay. There you go.
Okay, so basically what Edpuzzle is it's a way to take videos, either videos that you make or videos that you find, and break it up into pieces. So for example, these are all, well, let me start with this. On the top you have, for me, homeschool. So you can see there's 46 teachers who are using it at homes. And then in here, I'm seeing all of the work of things that they've done. So you can share it amongst the school. So that's one way, Allison, that you can share your information. The other thing you can do is these are different places you can find videos. And if you start in Edpuzzle, these are all videos that somebody else made. So for example, if I was doing something about fact versus opinion. So right here, all of these people made videos about fact versus opinion. Okay. Now you might have noticed, if you look at this one right here, and then you go back here, you can see that Monica used this one. Okay. This was not originally hers. She found it on here. And then she, let me choose something else just because she has that one. Let's do Spain. So here's a 3-minute and 34-second video that says it's about Spain. So I can watch it. And then I can click here and I have a few choices. I can edit it or copy it. And if I copy it, then it becomes mine. Okay. So now when I go back to my content here, my content right here, you can see this is that video. Now, Allison, you were talking about the prefab. What this video already has, I might have chosen a bad one. Let me choose a different one. What the videos usually already have, I'll show you this one, are these little dots right here. And these dots are all different types of questions or, so for example, this one right here is a note. Now, the other thing you'll notice is that when the kid gets to that area, when the student gets to that area, sometimes they're given the option. So right here, this is an open-ended question. So it says, what do you think this weather is referring to? So the student can, should, needs to answer that question. Now, when you create your, either steal or create your video, there's a few options, and one of the options that you have is that you can allow them to skip. This person, whoever made it, allowed them to skip it. You can also disallow that, and if you disallow that, then the only choice they have if they don't know the answer is to rewatch. And if I click on rewatch, it'll bring me back to the part, and then it stops, and then it stops, and it makes me answer the question. So I have no idea, but if I say snow, it's going to just keep going. Now, the reason it says to be graded is because it's an open-ended question. But if it's a like a multiple choice question, then you can actually have answers in there already that are that you can get a correct answer. I'll show you in this one, like this multiple choice question for this teacher. When I get to this question, when I get to why could I eliminate choice A and B without doing any math, if I click on this and I submit it, it tells me I was wrong, okay? And it shows me what's the correct answer. And then I have the chance to rewatch it. So,
determine which one of those is going to be correct. My next thing I have to do is I need to find my pattern. For any other table, you should always find the pattern. Well, 4 plus 12 is going to give me 16. If I go here, I know that 16 plus 12 will give me 20.
And you see when it gets to 149, it should stop me.
I know that it's going by 2. But remember that it's always y over x, so I take my y.
And then it's going, is it y over x or x over y? Well, she just told me it's always y over x. If I didn't hear that, I can rewatch it, and then I submit it, and this time I'm correct. Okay, so and I especially like this for, I know a lot of teachers are making screencast right now, and this is a nice way for people to, for the students to actually be interacting instead of just watching the screencast. So I'm going to go back to this so you can see what it looked like. So you can see that on here, they were only going every few seconds. So like I was saying, if I don't like that, if for me it's too many stops or not enough questions, I can click on this and I can either add more questions, or I can, right here, I can add another question in here. And I move my mouse to where I want it to be. And then I can add my question right here. And I can type my multiple choice question right here and all the answers right here. So that's how that works. So I'm going to stop right then just to see what are your questions. Awesome. Fantastic.
Wait, I'll ask a question.
Okay.
What if you want to make something from scratch? Like I found a good video on YouTube and now I want to make this an Edpuzzle video. What do I do?
So now I'm going to go back to my class. And so this time now I'm going to search in YouTube. So let's just say I do fish. Okay. So in here, if I click on edit, it's all of those same choices. So I can cut it. And that's another good point, is that sometimes you get a video that's super, super long. You know, these kids can't watch a 20-minute video. They don't have the attention span for it. And we don't either. So you can cut part of the video so it's only playing part of it. Or you can just leave it like it is. And then when I move this little black thing to where enjoy. So then in here I can add a voiceover right in here, or I can ask a question. So I have different choices of either multiple choice questions, an open-ended question, or a note. And a note just might be something for them to pay attention to. So I can say something like, pay attention to how the lights go with the music. And then it'll stop right there, and it'll make them pay attention to that. And see how it stops right there? And then they can press continue. And then I move my little thing right here, and now I'm right here. And I can say, do you think this is the best part of the song, question mark? Yes or no. And then I can tell which one of those is my correct answer. So right here, this one is my correct answer, and this is my incorrect answer. And so then I save it. And so then when it gets there, that pops up. And you can do the same thing with that if you had it as with my content. You can use, if I do add content, I can create a video right here. So if I was going to do a screencast or something like that, or if it's a screencast I already had that I made in Screencastify, I can upload it into Edpuzzle. And then you can have folders here. So that like if you had different classes that you were teaching and you wanted to keep all your content separate, you could have different classes with different content. So, and then Elaine is here because Elaine is already using it. So I thought she maybe would talk. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop presenting. And then Elaine, to present, you're just going to go all the way towards the bottom of the screen. And then you see the gray rectangle.
Yes, that's present now.
That's it.
Okay.
And then I know in the morning, the first group was really interested in seeing the grade book. So we'll talk about the grade book too.
Okay. I use Edpuzzle. Can everybody see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I just use Edpuzzle just to gather information about the class, just to see where they're at content-wise. So when I present a video, I stop at key points to make sure they get the vocabulary, to make sure they get some key words. And I don't use the grade book because I'd have to set up the grade book with the correct answers. So
Okay.
I look at all their answers. So let's see now here.
But actually, can you click on, that is the grade book.
Yeah.
That is the grade book.
But I actually look at their answers.
Right.
So
but that's just show, by saying grade book, it just means, so go ahead and show what you can see.
okay, so if I had set it up then and had put in the answers, it would give me the grade, which would make it so much easier.
But it also shows you how long they were on it and how much of it they completed.
And wow, I was there earlier and I don't seem to be able to get there now. I just want to see their answers, which is what I usually do.
So I think if you go to questions.
Yes.
And then you go to once you're in there, I think you can click in the.
Yeah, try questions. Yeah.
There you go.
But I want to see their responses, which I was able to do.
I think if you click on it.
Click on the question. Okay. Fine. Great. Okay. So at this point, I know exactly, wow, they did pretty well on that one. Okay. But there are other questions I was looking at earlier where I noticed the children
and you can
didn't
see
get the gist of the video at all.
Yeah, and you can see with the colors too. See how it has the green and the yellow? So that gives you an idea of which of the questions were the ones that were the hardest for them.
Yes. So for me now, I know that they all understand basically what an engineer does. And that's how I want to, and that engineer solves problems based on specific criteria. So now I can go on with my lesson in the direction I wanted to go. Otherwise, I'd have to pre-teach some other information. That's the only way I really use it. And the one thing I don't like about it is the video has to be a YouTube or a Khan Academy or one of the sites they listed. You can't bring in another video that you found elsewhere. Or
well, you could if you downloaded. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, how?
If you go to Edpuzzle, click on the Edpuzzle word, and then you go to My Content.
Okay.
You just passed it. Go a little bit higher.
Yeah, My
Click on
Content.
My Content, and then where it says Add Content. If you had downloaded the video and that's kind of copyright type things, but if you downloaded the video from somewhere else and click on the blue Add Content, then you can upload the video.
Oh, all right. Okay, fine, great. That solves that problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you go back to the gradebook super quick? And so then click on, go down a little so we can see it. So click on something that says like front Camacho. Click on the yellow, the 75. Does that let you dig in at all?
The second one does. Okay, yes.
So then that shows you what questions they answered and what how they answered it and all that.
Yes, and if they completed it. So I know other people use it for when they have substitutes to watch a longer video, but I haven't had success with that. So I only use it when I'm in the room.
Okay.
And I've used it so far, and it's with the children who have been responding, they've been watching the videos.
Mm-hmm. I mean, for me, it's nice while we're here, while we're doing the distance learning, just because of the accountability. If you went back to your assignment, you could see, I don't know if you saw it at the beginning, it was, so go back to the actual assignment,
Okay.
which is the one
Content.
that you just showed.
Yeah. All right. This
So
one.
go ahead and click on that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then scroll down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a part where you could see the thing about allowing them to, it might be on the right where the numbers are, where it's under the to do.
Yes.
I think that's where you get to decide if they can skip answers or not.
All right. Yeah.
I don't know if
Okay.
I'm looking in the right place or not, but there's an area, and that's up to you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's
It
the
was
basic.
it was so
Good.
easy to learn and use. It wasn't a trouble at all. And Allison, it didn't take a lot of time. It took very little time. Like, it was just a matter of being.
Yeah, I guess it would depend on how long your video is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never put in a video that's more than 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, I was working with a teacher a couple of, like last week, and she had a 20-minute screencast. And I was like, there's just no way these kids can focus for 20 minutes when they're sitting in their, family room with everything going on and stuff. So we did two things. We took that 20-minute video and we made it 3 different parts. Like, this is getting ready to do the activity. Now you do the activity. Then what do they do? So we broke it up into different parts. But then even within the different parts, she was able to stop it and have them interact, because
Oh, yeah.
that's where they can, that's where they can show that they're actually watching the video and not just letting it scroll. The other thing about it is, if you're watching the video, if the kid is watching the video and they go to another tab, it stops the video, which I like.
Oh.
Because, yeah, so they can't just let it play in the background.
Unlike our modules, right?
Yeah.
And I like the open-ended questions because Alicia had sent out a video. Correct me if I'm mistaken, but it was for us to learn about the monitoring systems.
Yeah.
And you couldn't move on if you didn't get it, if you didn't
Right.
answer correctly. And then you had to rewind all the way to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to interfere with their watching the video, because at least they finish watching it, they get something out of it.
Yeah.
So I leave it open-ended for that reason.
Yeah. I wonder if, I think that when you make your questions, I wonder if that's a setting you can have that they can't continue until they get it right. Because I know that it's a setting that you can't continue until you've answered, but I wonder if there's another one that, because for those multiple choice questions, there were only 2 choices, and as soon as you got it wrong, it showed you the correct answer. So those are just things you can play with.
Yeah.
I think that Karen, are you frozen? I think she's frozen.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I'm frozen. I don't know why.
Oh, there
I
you
tried
are.
to unfreeze myself, and am I still frozen?
No, now you're moving.
Okay.
Karen, are you the CCC teacher at London?
No, at Cooper.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you.
You too?
I've heard of you.
Uh-oh.
No, I'll say. And Mrs. Sabatino says hi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this looks, I like this. I think that this will, this is another great tool that we can use.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's, when Nellis was saying it takes a while, it might take a while, but it's the same questions you would be stopping and asking if they were sitting in front of you. So, and you saw it's pretty, drag and drop type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, or typing out on a document for them to answer that you're sending out, so.
Right,
way more fun, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and just also they know exactly where that question was supposed to come from, because if you make the section short enough, then you can, they just rewatch that last 30 seconds. And you saw, I mean, at Elaine, most of Elaine's kids had a lot of correct answers. So, or, what they were sure looking for.
Yeah, and most videos go too fast for them to process.
Yes,
So it's
Yeah.
especially
kinda
with
nice,
the ELL. Mhm,
so nice to stop and just see if they're understanding.
mhm,
Yeah.
And it's way better than me talking.
mhm.
Yeah.
So that's the gist of it. I don't know if anybody wants to see anything in particular or.
I'm good.
Okay, it's
I,
good.
I'd say the only thing that I noticed different is how you remember how Jody could see all the Holmes videos. When I logged in, I could see what's called like wheeling something, and I'm starting to see videos from other schools in our district that have been posted. But we're not quite
Oh.
sure why I could see the wheeling and Jody couldn't. So we're kind of working through that. So I'd be interested if you guys do sign up for this, if you see Cooper on the left or you do see wheeling.
I see Cooper
I
on the
just
left.
signed in.
Okay.
Mine says home, then curriculum, then Cooper, then my content.
The other thing that I think we forgot to mention was that if you look at my screen, or at my thing, you'll see that it says something about Pro School. Can you see that right here?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's the upgrade that Alicia put a link for it. And Eric, I know in the morning you put the link on the chat. But if you're not getting the Pro Scroll, you want to click on that and get the code in, because then you get more videos. And I think some of the gradebook things are only in the paid version.
Erica, I wonder if you see it, because like when you go to settings, it says like school name, and I wonder if it's because like you put in Cooper versus
Yeah,
Wheeling.
but I have homes.
You
Like
do,
there's
okay.
homes, but I don't have the whole district.
Because my other fear too is like this says change schools, but if you change schools, it says you'll lose everything that you made.
So these are all the people who listed themselves as homes. The other
Mhm.
nice thing is, like, so these are all, we know they're middle school teachers. The nice thing is if I'm looking especially for anything made for math, then all of the
Right.
teachers who've made math ones will show up, and then you can see all of hers. This is a science one, but she's got some math ones in here. And you can find them in this whole, where you just search Edpuzzle. But the nice thing about the ones that are from our district is that you know that all the power standards and the content and everything is the same. So,
Mhm.
no need to reinvent the wheel.
Where do we get the code to do the
Did you
Pro
put it in?
version?
She put the code in. Erica, do you remember where it is? Where is she gone?
I
I
don't think it
just
was the
went.
code. I thought it was like a link we had to
Yeah,
go
a link.
to.
Yeah.
Let me.
Did she email it to us?
She did originally, and then
Okay.
the other thing, just as a this one I think it is, this online tool updates. This has all of the
Yeah,
all
that's
of
where I
the
grabbed
tool-
it from.
yeah,
Hmm.
but like everything here it is right here.
Yeah, that's where I grabbed it from.
Do we have access to that?
This was
That's
shared. Yeah,
okay.
this was shared by
All right.
Mike, I think.
Okay.
Online tool, but like all of these things we've got free access to now, so you definitely want to take a look at this. Kahoot, Pear Deck, all of them has the information about Seesaw.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, if anybody has any questions, we're always around.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank
We'll
you.
see ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.